The New York Times is now reporting this newly released footage shows rebel forces in Syria, in other words, the ones we would be backing, executing 7 captured government soldiers as those soldiers lay helplessly on the ground. The New York Times claims it obtained the video from a former rebel soldier who grew disgusted with all these killings. The newspaper has also edited the video so that it cuts to black just before the guns go off, so you won't see the execution, but you'll see everything else. And this comes with a warning. As you might imagine, this is, well, it's disturbing.
أن سنثأر واليمين نطاق وستدفعون دماءنا أضعافها يوم بيوم والدم استحقاق.
The Times reports the rebels buried the bodies in an unmarked grave. Meantime, another video is raising more concerns about the lengths to which Syria's regime is willing to go to defeat the opposition. Catherine Herridge is live in Washington. Catherine, what do we know about this second video?
Well, Shep, the 4.5-minute video bearing the black and white Islamist flag in the background shows a group of commanders allied with the FSA, or the Free Syrian Army. It was posted on a pro-Syrian regime website 2 days after the alleged chemical weapons attack August 21st. 3 analysts reviewed this tape, with one concluding it is not moderate in tone or message.
The narrative is jihadi. And the red line they're talking about is by the use of weapons they have not used before. And what comes to my mind would be chemical or biological.
A separate analysis identified a handful of opposition commanders, including this man, who is apparently a deputy to General Salim Idris, the rebel leader. The president of the Middle East Media Research Institute, or MEMRI, also reviewed the tape, telling Fox that the message is clear. If the West doesn't act, then this group says it will have no red lines either, Shep.
And the administration, not surprisingly, getting a lot of pushback here.
Well, that's right. It came up consistently during this week's hearings on Capitol Hill, with the State Department defending its position that there is a moderate element to the opposition.
It seems like initially the opposition was maybe more Western-leaning, more moderate, more democratic, and as time has gone by, it's degraded, become more infiltrated by Al-Qaeda. Is that basically true?
No, that is actually basically not true. It's basically incorrect. The opposition has increasingly become more defined by its moderation.
The Republican chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee countered that he's had multiple intelligence briefings that indicate the number of jihadists and their extremism has been growing inside of Syria. I guess to bottom line it, really what we consider moderate here in the United States, Shep, is not what they would consider moderate on the ground in Syria.
What he's saying is, what Secretary Kerry said was, this rebel group is moderating. It's becoming less violent. But every single bit of intelligence and information that we've been able to get shows the opposite.
Well, it shows the opposite. Based on my reporting, even some of the intelligence agencies, most notably the CIA, has had a hard time telling the appropriations committees on the Hill with any certainty who has been getting help from the United States inside of Syria and whether they are truly friendly to the United States or not. But it's a very mixed picture, and this grayness, if you will, really played out on Capitol Hill. But again, I think it comes down to what you consider it moderate. What's moderate in Syria is not what we would consider Western Democrats or moderates here in the United States.
Real quick, what the president is talking about in general terms is a number of days, right? Not weeks of bombing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that may be the case, but the question is what the objective is. And historically, what we've seen with limited strikes is that there are severe and unintended consequences, most notably Lockerbie, and then also again 9/11 was linked to our actions in East Africa.
Yeah. All right, Catherine, thanks. And one of the reasons I brought that up was we asked yesterday about cost of all of this, and the answer was, well, tens of millions of dollars. Tomahawk missiles cost almost $1 million a piece. So what is tens? Is that like $25 million? Is that what that would be? Like, that would be 25 Tomahawk missiles and nothing else. Tens of millions of dollars. One worth writing down to look at later in your diary of this period in our history.